Hello and welcome to the Friday stream. Interesting stream to have on Friday, but the reason I'm doing a stream today is because I want to get X-Plane 11 running, or I finally fixed my X-Plane 11, and instead of doing a video, I thought I'd do a stream, get it going, test a few things, make sure things are running okay before I start going back into making videos. So this is going to be quite an interesting one, I think, overall, but we should enjoy it. I'm going to be waiting for a few seconds before I start getting things going. So the stream starting soon is written on the screen right now. I am going to be obviously getting into it very, very quickly. I've got things set up, so I'm just adjusting the final bits and bobs to ensure that we've got everything happily working. Right. Let's see. How do I do this? Make sure this is set up to like that. Does that work? It's supposed to work. Right. Now, hopefully, we should have a much lower latency today as well. So I just need to wait for these things to work out. But we'll see what we'll get. To be completely honest, I don't think I am going that way. I'm just having a look at the flight plan, and this is not the way I'm going to be going. So, thank you, and delete that one. And that one's going to be like that. Right. And I don't think I'm taking you either. Fiddle Fun, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is. Just bear with me one moment while I just delete a couple of things and get this map running how I want it to run, and then we will go into it. In fact, let's go ahead and I'm going to start up X-Plane right now, and we can go straight in game. Thank you for your tutorials on how to install things like FSC. Well, you are very, very welcome. Hopefully you're going to enjoy today's stream if you're staying along for the entire stream. Shh, I'm talking. Right. Yeah, X-Plane looks like real life. Fantastic. Well, I've got to show you. In fact, let me show you a single image that I have had from X-Plane 11 that I took yesterday. This was on a preview flight, and there you go. That's that was my preview flight, and actually, this is without FS enhancer. I've been trying to adjust a few other things now, so you can see. This is not going to be the aircraft we're flying today. In fact, this is going to be the aircraft. This is just not going to be the livery we're flying today, because that's the livery, as you can see, we flew last time. And as you can see, it can look very real. But anyway, we're not doing that. We've got to go into this. We're going to set up a flight momentarily. And that flight is going to be, as it says on the actual title, we're going to go from London Gatwick. So that's going to be Echo Golf Kilo Kilo, and we are going to stick ourselves. Ooh, where should we stick ourselves? Let's bung ourselves at stand 231, and we'll go to where we're going to be going to is going to be London, not London Heathrow. Sorry, it's going to be Leeds Bradford. John Malone, you're flying into Echo Golf Lima Lima at the moment. Fantastic. How are you finding it? And what are you flying in? 0845. There we go. That's pretty good for us. And what we're going to do is we are going to get this flight started, and then I'm going to show you a few other things. Use X-Vision and UW. Ah, right. Okay, fantastic. You're not the first person to say that you use those. That's interesting. Weather's terrible. Flight factor 767. Oh dear. I hope that the weather is okay today. This is the first flight that I've done in X-Plane with the 737, perhaps in bad weather. This morning wasn't too bad, so I've actually got it on this morning's weather. It wasn't great this morning. A bit cloudy, a little bit of breeze, but it did clear up very quickly, and then it started raining and stuff later on. So I'm hoping that ActiveSky can sort of represent that and keep it going. However, I'm taking off from Gatwick and flying into Leeds Bradford. Now, I don't know what the weather was in Leeds Bradford. I haven't checked. Starting to set and watching your flight. Well, make sure you don't take your eye off your own aircraft. I mean, it will still be about 40 minutes before we get this aircraft into the air, so you can go through the whole start procedure and all that kind of stuff. So you got this. I certainly hope so. Hopefully, the real time interactions also going well. I've also scaled this downscale to 720p. Now, the reason I've downscaled to 720p is I want to see if it looks better, because at 1080p, obviously the pass-through and things that are going through, I don't have an internet connection strong enough to give me a pass-through that I can run 20 kilobits per second on. Unfortunately, I can only do 10 kilobits per second, so, or 10,000 should I say. So I'm hoping that by scaling down, we'll sort of figure that one out. I've always wondered where you're from. Well, try and guess from the accent. A320, hello. Ooh, that's very interesting, isn't it? A320. And we're flying a 737 today. Bit of a challenge. Right, hopefully this asynchronous loading finishes very quickly so we can actually get on with the flights. Maybe the UK. Well, given the fact that I have ORBX UK, I'm flying a British Airways aircraft, I perhaps have the accent. On top of that, I know the area. Not good with accents. There you go. You left flying Boeing since... Wow, that's an interesting one. I just cannot fly Airbus. I tried it in a professional sim once. Could not do it. Just could not do it. Jump into a 7.3, I'm absolutely fine. And last week, actually, I flew a 7.4 for the first time. And I'm talking about training sims here. Right. Now, there are a couple of bugs with this new version of the Zibo mod. As you can see, there are a few textures that just seem to be slightly off. But we're going to ignore them. That's one of them. But we are going to ignore all of those for today. Okay. Right. Anything else that we need to do? Yes, let's go on to Avitab. And let me just quickly show you on the plans what today's plan is. So, we've got this one here. If you'd like to load it. I guess it's taking its own sweet time to load. No? Oh, there it goes. It is loading it. You always fly Boeing, want to try the Flight Factor A320? Yeah, that would be an interesting one. Right. This is our flight plan today. And as you can see, I used just a standard route finder. I think it's online flight planner or something for flight simulation. So it's just to give me a rough idea as to what I'm doing. We're going to be trying to cruise at 15,000 feet today, and we're going to be taking off from Echo Golf Kilo Kilo, taking a standard instrument departure out to Biggin. I think we're going to do the Biggin 2. I can't remember the name of it, but it's 2 something. We're going to be flying out to Biggin over on the November 16 routing, so we're going to be taking the November 16 airway over to Brookman's Park. That's going to switch us on to November 601. Now, November 601 is going to go past Poton, Bedford, Eberto, and go all the way to Pippin, across Leicester, Robin, and then that is actually going to hopefully take us all the way to Pole Hill. Now, from Pole Hill, we're going to take a star in, but unfortunately, I don't know the stars into Bradford, so we're not going to be taking a star, but we're just going to try and vector ourselves in to an approach at Echo Golf November Mike, which is Bradford Airport, or Leeds Bradford. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay, by the way. Am I clipping? Am I too quiet? Anything like that? Do let me know. Right, and if you have a look here, we've got all of our we've got all of our fixes right over here. So we've got our tracks, our distance, our coordinates, and any frequencies that we need in particular. Do I fly online? I do not at the moment. No, I do intend to at some point, but not at the moment. If we go to the next page, page 2 of 2, Mike's good, just like the videos. Fantastic. This is thanks to my Patreons who gave me enough support that I could purchase a new bit of kit, a Yamaha MG10XU mixer, and that's allowed me to be able to do streaming at the same kind of quality as my videos, which is something that, I mean, it cost £120 or something, £130. So if it wasn't for Patreon support, that would have definitely not been something that was possible. Right, here's our load sheet. Now what we just need to check is we're going to ignore all this. All I want to know is what kind of fuel I'm looking at. So I've forgotten where it says how much fuel I'm going to use. There we go. Takeoff fuel 5769 is what we're looking at. So I'm thinking we'll put in 6,000 kilos. So that's what we're going to bung into this thing. So we'll go ahead and go straight to well, I suppose we'll do that. Might as well do all of this stuff. We'll fuel up for 6,000 kilos. There we go. Oh no, that's payload. Rubbish. Let's do 4 on that. 6,000 on the fuel. There we go. That's pretty good. We'll ensure that we have... Let's see. Anything else that we need? Let's see. Yeah, those are all... I want to see all these open because I've never seen these all open. So I want to have a look at what they are like outside. So we'll take a look outside. You can see all the doors open. So it does look fantastic, and this is the aircraft that we're going to be flying today, which is the BOAC British Airways aircraft. And I suppose if I go to free cam, I can zoom in a little bit, and there we go. We can take a nice little screenshot there, which is absolutely perfect. So you can see that that is my particular aircraft. Right, anything else that we can do over here? Let's have a look. Nothing much apart from we're going to do GPU. We're going to do that. We don't need better pushback at the moment, so we're going to be preparing ourselves. We'll stop that, I suppose. We'll start shutting these doors all the way along, which is fantastic, the fact that we can do this. I've never seen these doors open. You should have more subs for the videos you make. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. But hopefully with your support and you sharing the videos and liking the videos and things like that and watching them, that will actually help bring the subs in. That's the idea anyway. Right. The aircraft is still off at the moment, so we are going to start preparing to start this aircraft up in a couple of minutes. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is, instead of starting the aircraft up, I am going to show you guys what we're looking at here. So this is ActiveSky XP. I've shown this on a video before, and this is our rough flight plan for ActiveSky. So we're going to be taking off from Echo Golf Kilo Kilo. We're going to be flying to Biggin. Now it's saying top of climb is there. I'm not sure if that's going to be top of climb. And then we're going to go Brooklands Park, and then we're going to fly all the way over to Pole Hill. Now the only thing I'm looking at is if I go to Sky Vector right now. If we look here, November 601, if we follow that all the way along, I'm looking for the Robin intersection. Now, if I can find the Robin intersection, which I really don't know where it is, surely it's down here somewhere then. There's Leicester. No, I can't find the Robin intersection, so we are just going to fly straight to Pole Hill, and then from Pole Hill we'll vector ourselves in to Leeds Bradford. So, back to ActiveSky and X-Plane. Let's have a look at the kind of weather that we're dealing with. On the ground we've got variable 2 knots, so we can take whichever runway we want over there, and over here we've got variable at 3 knots, 0 to 360. So realistically, we could take any runway we want. I'm thinking we'll take... let's take runway 8 at Gatwick. And we will land on whatever runway is on this side at this airport, which I don't actually know which is the active runway at this airport at the moment, so we'll sort that out. So that's fine. Now that we've seen that, we know what we're doing. We've got a bit of cloud over here. We've got some cloud coverage right here. You can see 400 feet overcast, but then it seems to be clearing up a fair amount, so we should be able to climb up right above the clouds. It should be quite nice to see. So right, let's go back to the flight plan, make sure everything is okay. Yep, we've got a few frequencies here. Wind direction, not bad at all. We do not have that much in... Yeah, we do not have any problems with the wind. Fantastic. Right, in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, well, essentially getting this aircraft started. So let's go ahead and do that. So we've got the fuel loaded, we've got the payload done. Let's check the parking brake. That's been set. Also, I've got myself some views, so we can use these views in whatever way we need to. So I'm definitely going to be trying to do that. Right, parking brake is set. Let's just figure out which view is which. 2 is that side, 3 is the FMC, 4 is that, 5 is that, 6 is up there, 7 is that, 8 is that, and 9 is my wing view back there. Okay, so the only thing that I don't actually have on a view set like that is this. That's clever. Although that being said, I don't need that because all of them are connected. So parking brake is set. Right, let's go ahead and get these. Right, which one is it? Is it this one? Nope, 6. Okay. Battery power, great. Let's stick that onto standby power. That's fine. We will get ground power going immediately. So we've done that. We'll switch the position light onto steady. We will go for, let's think, logo light can go on, and that's pretty good for us at the moment. Everything else is fine. That can be armed. Seatbelt signs are off at the moment. That looks good to me. We'll put packs. Ooh, when should we switch packs on? We should probably do that. Yeah, I'll put them on auto now. That will do. Yeah, we'll do that right now. That can be on auto for now. And then we'll go... Right, everything good? Yeah, let's start getting the IRS aligned. So we'll go... Right. Align, align. And over to nav. Great. We don't need this because, as you can see, we've got no problem there. Let's check the stall warnings. They work absolutely fine. Great. Right, back over to here. Right, let's start getting this FMC going. Yep, we can ignore the master caution at the moment. 3 for FMC. Enter IRS position. We'll clear that. Yep, that's out of date. Not a problem. ACOS, we're going to pull up an ATIS request for Echo Golf Kilo Kilo. Send out for an ATIS request there. So we'll get our information. Right, FMC. Let's get the absolute basics in. So if we go to our AVI tab, which is 8, over here, go to charts. Don't need that chart anymore. So we're going to go up to Echo Golf Kilo Kilo. We need to figure out exactly where we are. So we are somewhere down here, right? Where did we stick ourselves? I think we stuck ourselves here. So I think we're at 230. So we'll go for 230 or 231, one of those. So we'll go position initialization. I can press F1 now to get some key inputs here. So I can now just type in like so, which is great. That's absolutely fantastic. It really, really helps us out. Just got to remember to make sure that I switch them off once we've done that. Okay, right. Let's get the routing in whilst we're aligning up. So we're going to go Echo Golf Kilo Kilo to Echo Golf November Mike. We don't have an alternate setup right now. Flight number. Alright, those of you watching, give me a flight number. Runway 8, not 8. I thought it was runway 8. 08. It's probably 08 right. That's probably why. Yeah, except 08 right. So, if you want to give me a flight number, that would be fantastic. A 3-digit number would be lovely. Let's see what we've got. We can even do a 4-digit number if we really want to. But it's going to be Bravo Alpha Whiskey something. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for the flight number, I will go up to the overhead panel and we'll start doing things like your damper on. Fuel pumps all need to be off at the moment, so that's fine. Ground power switch we're leaving on for now. We probably should get the what do you call it going. We probably should get the APU going. So in fact we will get the APU going whilst I'm waiting for a flight number from you guys. So I shall bring that on. And what else do I need to bring on? APU, that's fine. There we go. We'll switch on the APU generator. Hold for a few seconds. Why is that not going up? There it goes. That was taking a while. Okay. So we're just going to make sure all of this is done. We'll just wait for the APU right now. 492. You want 492? Fantastic. Well, let's go for it. Unfortunately, I can't go Delta Delta Echo, but I can give you Bravo Alpha Whiskey 492. Sure. There we go. Perfect. That one's done. We won't do that just yet. In fact, should we do that right now? Yeah, why not? Sure, we're gonna go big in. It's not gonna be direct, it's gonna be a SID. Then we'll go Brookman's Park, so it's BPK. And then we're going to go Pole Hill. So, I keep forgetting I've actually got this. There we go, Pole Hill. That should work quite nicely for us. Activate that. I'm not going to execute that just yet. But that looks pretty good. In fact, I have to execute that to get into the performance initialization. Let's go back up. Oops. Let's go back up to here. We've got some APU power available. There. APU bleed on. That should be good for us. Everything there has come on quite nicely. Packs are on. That's fine. That's open. That's not a problem so far. We're doing well. So far we're doing well. Window heat can probably be on right now. So might as well do that. Probe heat for now is going to remain off. That's fine. We can probably disconnect ground power now. So we're going to do that. We don't need to touch anything up here anymore. But I am going to go, not there, to 8. I've got to get used to this. Going to go over here and, oh no, I need that up. I want that. And we're going to disconnect ground power. There we go. We're going to remove the chocks. That's fine. Okay, we seem to be pretty good to go on that. All we need to do is keep ourselves on the charts. Alright, so we're going to take off runway 8. So we've got to go along here. Right, we've got to figure out how we're going to get to runway 8 on this. Right. Continuing on. We've got lots and lots of master cautions, of course, as the aircraft is still starting up. Let's go back up to this one right here. Let's just check everything is going okay. That's fine. Where was I last? We were checking hydraulic pumps. Electrical ones are off. Engine ones are on. Trim air will switch on for now. We don't need... I think the temperatures are pretty cool. In fact, let's go ahead and check in the cabins. Actually, it's kind of not great in the cabin, so let's warm it up just a little bit in the cabin. In fact, it says auto, so maybe I'll just leave that on auto. That's fine. Okay. Reset fans are absolutely fine. Those are fine. That will probably put onto open now. There we go. That's bringing it up quite nicely to 30. That's how it's supposed to be. I've never managed to do that before. This is probably the first time I've managed to actually get that working in that form. Right, whilst we're doing that and this thing's still aligning itself, let's go into performance for us. Zero fuel weight is that. Today we are planning to fly on, I think we only need 2.7. Is that what we need? We can go have a look at Avitab once again. Go out of this. Plans. What are we planning to use? Right. Trip fuel 2.2. We're only planning to use 2.2 at the moment. So we're going to go from 2.2 2.7. Yeah, so let's go for 2.3. There we go, 2.3 is in. That leaves us with a fair amount of reserves. So I'm actually going to put in a reserve of 5. We'll have a cost index of 20. And we're actually going to be flying today at flight level 150, like so. Perfect. We could probably take the cruise winds. In fact, we can take the cruise winds from ActiveSky right now. And we're looking at, let's go for roughly about 250 at 20. Yeah, we'll say 250 at 20 or thereabouts. Yep, we'll do that. So we'll go 250 slash. Nope, slash doesn't work. Okay, well, I suppose the slash doesn't work on there. Slash 20. There we go. That's looking pretty good. And transition altitude is absolutely fine. We're not going to worry about that. We're not going to worry about any of this stuff. This is fine for us. We're going to take our outside temperature from the 80s here, and that is 8 degrees. So we're going to actually just put in /8. I'm not going to bother with this one too much. So we're just going to do that. We're going to go for a 24k D-rate takeoff. Absolutely fine. We're going to go for a flaps 5 takeoff. You can do a flaps 10 takeoff in this aircraft. It's actually pretty easy. We'll do that. The runway is fine like that. We have variable 2 knots, so we're just going to go, let's see. Can I just put in just /2? Will it help me? Nope, invalid entry. If I want to put variable 2 knots, you know what? We don't need to put the runway wind in. We're just going to put 0/2. In fact, that should be, or not. Alright, 360/2. There you go. It'll take that. That's weird. Dry, that's fine. None of that needs to be something we need to worry about. We're doing takeoff very slow speeds today. Very, very slow speeds. Only 120 on this. So you can bring that right the way up to 120. We'll set up this panel in a moment. In fact, we probably want to be bringing that right the way up to 15,000 anyway. That looks good to me. In fact, that is the entire... That's everything ready to go. That's that sorted. Right. FMC has been done. Let's now do our... Oops. Get rid of that. Now let's do our main panel. So let's have a look at this and make sure everything is fine. So our course today, we're taking off a runway 8. Let's go ahead and close that one and bring up runway 8 for us. That's not it. That's not it. It's these. Is that it? Well, that's an approach for runway 8. So we should be able to find our frequency 110.9. So we'll pop that in a moment. 110.9. But what I'm looking for here is the actual runway direction. What is the final course? 078. There we go. That's what I want. So I'm going to set the heading for 078. Come on, anytime now. 078 there. And for the course, we're actually going to leave it as... In fact, yeah, let's do 078 for the course as well, since we're going to be flying on that to start with. And then we'll swap out the course very quickly. 078. Fantastic, that's pretty good. That needs to be at V2, which is a 132 today. That's all working quite nicely. Yep, right. We'll try and dial in 111.9 on the radios. So 111.9 can go in right there, and we'll do the same for this one in case we have to return to the airport, like so. Today's squawk code, we're going to be squawking, sure, 2415. That's our squawk code today. Fantastic. We probably should light that up because it is a little bit difficult to see. In fact, we'll probably go ahead and light all the things up because generally they look better when they're lit up anyway. There you go. Why not? They look better when it's all lit up. Right. Aside from that, I think we're in a pretty good situation right here. That probably needs to go to RTO in a minute. Right, we only got fuel and electrics, but that makes sense. Auto brakes can go to RTO. Stab trim, yeah, we should probably set that 4.15. That's about right. Yep, that looks about right for me. Fantastic. Transponder, and that's been done. We could do a TCAS test. Let's do a TCAS test. Is that going to start the test? How do you start the test on this thing?
Adjust.
There you go.
Speed.
All right.
Adjust.
Let's wait for that to go through.
Now. Climb now. Climb, crossing, climb. Climb, crossing, climb. Climb. Clear of conflict. Descend, crossing, descend. Descend, crossing, descend.
Right, so we're just going through all of these now.
Descend now. Increase, climb. Increase, climb. Increase, descent. Increase, descent. Maintain vertical speed. Maintain vertical speed.
And while we're doing that, let's have a look at an airport chart.
Vertical speed. TCAS test. Pass.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're over here on taxiway uniform, or near taxiway uniform. So we'll pull out on the apron, and we'll go up to uniform 1. We'll go down Juliet, down this way, all the way. We could take the runway down. I can't remember which direction it goes. We'll go all the way down here, all the way there, and then we'll go all the way around Juliet. Yep, and we'll do that, and then we'll get ourselves up onto H right. That works for me. Yep, that definitely works for me. Anything else that I need to do? I just need to adjust my barometers. There we go. That's now been adjusted. Which hardware? So I'm using a Cytec X52 Pro. That's what I'm using at the moment. And I was going to use head tracking, but I've decided not to. Obviously the aircraft is the Zibo 737-800. We have the ActiveSky XP, which is running for us, and I'm playing around with some weather injectors or cloud textures and stuff, so don't worry about those at the moment. And I've got ORBX True Earth running, as well as Airport Environment X. So that's what we've got. Right. Everything's been set up quite nicely. Let's make sure that our trims for the rudder and ailerons are bang on 0, and they are. That's fine. Good. Right, what we're going to do now is we're just going to close the door. Perfect. That does let me still get to the back, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Fantastic. As long as it lets me get to the back, that's the important part. Okay. So, I think that is everything completed. Let's go for our before start checklist, because we know exactly where we're going right now. So cabin and cargo doors are closed. Seatbelt signs can now go on, even though we don't have anybody here. We've done that. We're going to switch on all the fuel pumps at this point in time. Beacon light can go on. Hydraulic pumps need to now go on. And that's pretty good. I think we are almost ready to go. We are going to go for better pushback. So, pre-plan. There we go. Right, here's our better pushback. let's see where we need to go. So we need to is it here that we need to go? Yep, we need to bring ourselves back, and we're going to line ourselves up something like that. That's our
ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
I'm ready. Could I please get the pushback?
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Here it comes. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, at this point in time, go to free cam, and we're going to watch ourselves being pushed back. So the trees here. So this is going to be nice to see. Okay. There's our British Airways tug. And look how this connects. This is fantastic how it actually connects up. It is really, really cool.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
This is a different... Yep, go on, connect. There it goes. Complete with reverse lights. And you'll notice that the nose of the aircraft will lift up. The medium, lagging in which way? Could you please define lag for me, perhaps? Sound.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Hold on, I'll try and figure that one out then. Let me get this aircraft moving backwards, and then we'll get that figured out.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
We're not going to start the engines right now. We're going to watch the pushback. And just take a look at that. I mean, it should be pretty much identical, the sound. Let me just have a listen. But, no, I think it seems to be okay. Move about there. You have got to admit that that looks pretty good. So, once we're pushed back, we'll do the whole engine start. In fact, should we possibly start the engines now? I guess it's probably a good idea to start the engines now instead of wasting time. Though the flight today is only going to be about 47 minutes in the air, so realistically we should be fine. Oh, right, no problems. It happens. I wish I could get the depth of field working on this, because that would be fantastic if I had depth of field. It would be really, really cool. Nice to see all these new faces, though. It's really, really nice to see all these new faces. See, I can just imagine how real that would look with the depth of field working correctly. But you know, right. Let's get ourselves back in the aircraft. And you can see we're lining up very nicely. So what we're going to do is we're going to start working on. What are we working on? Oh yeah, starting the engines. That's what we're supposed to do. Right. So, for the engine start.
Operation complete.
Oh.
Set parking brake.
Rightio.
Disconnecting tows. Stand by.
Right, well, while you're doing that, we're just going to check, make sure everything is good here. So we've got that in the correct form. That's absolutely fine. So we are now going to get the pack switches off. Like so. And we're going to start engine 2. Starting 2. I'm going to wait for the rotation. Should be able to hear it very nicely today. Hand signals on the left, I'm hoping. Get some fuel in. Good voice, calm atmosphere, right? What I need.
Cell is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you and goodbye. Why does it have to be opposite? That's just a habit. You don't actually have to have it on opposite. That's just me. Right, and we'll go for swapping the ignition and starting that one. You can hear it starting from... In fact, can you hear it starting from back here? Because that's the engine right there. That sounds so good. That sounds so good. .25, and we'll go outside to have a listen as it starts up. I think it's just a habit, really. I've just always done that. I've always swapped them out all the time. Right, taxi light can go on. Engine, right, now that we've done that, we need to go for the hold before taxi. Let's get these generators on, like so. We'll switch the APU off. We'll get the APU bleed off. Packs can go back on now, like so. Isolation valve up to auto. Probe heat needs to now go on, like that. Wing and engine anti-ice. We should be okay right now. He hopes. This needs to go over to Gen 1. And we'll set the flaps up, so we're going to go flaps 5. Going to flaps 5. Right, Flame Arrow 82. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening. Right, auto throttle needs to be armed. Now, this is where I always have problems. Flight directors can go on. I always have problems with the autopilot systems. Let's make sure that everything's okay here. Yep, we're completely good. And we'll probably switch on runway turn-off lights as well, but we should be completely okay. Right, engine can go to continuous. Oh, there you go. The medium's just put it up. He's just put that up right now. The engines need to go to continuous, but that's pretty good. And let's go to the runway. Parking brakes released. Start ourselves rolling. Now, an aircraft like this is very, very easy to move. I hope I remember how to fly this today. It's been a while. Yeah, we seem to be okay. It's a good start. Right. Do that. Do that. There is a couple of things that I have forgotten to do. That is the departures, and we're going to do the departure. We're going to be using the Big In 2 Zulu departure. Should execute that and see where that takes us. Should take us along a very nice route. We'll bring this into... I'll zoom that one out. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Just having a look on this side. If I just put that into plan mode, yeah, that looks pretty good. Across and up. In fact, I wonder if I put the 2 Yankee in. I know. Hang on a second. I'm going to try the 2 Yankee. What does that give me? Oh, sorry, 3 Papa. I prefer 3 Papa. We'll take that. Right. This, we can check this. We've already, in fact, I've already checked these before, so we're absolutely fine there. It's not a problem. At this point, I think we're pretty good. I'm just going to put my cruise altitude in for 15,000 feet, and landing altitude will set up at some point. Top panel bottom left. What have I forgotten on the top panel bottom left? I don't think there's anything I've forgotten here. Do let me know though. Right, we will also bring this up all the way to TAR8. That will do. That's RTO. I think we're pretty good on this. We just need to get the landing lights and strobe lights on. Wheel light and we don't need those. We don't need that in the daytime. No need for those during the day. Okay, cruising along quite nicely at 24 knots. As we come up to our runway of choice. Yeah, the checklists are not always perfectly accurate. Like, for example, you don't even need... I was speaking to a pilot and they don't bother with... Sometimes during the day they don't even bother with taxi lights. Now, I've got the taxi lights on, but they don't bother with them. This pilot that I spoke to has had 23,000 hours in the air. So... Right, here we go. Runway 8 right. This is it. Let's see if I can remember how to fly this aircraft. We'll stop on the runway. Since there's no traffic, we'll stop on the runway instead of stopping right now and then doing the final checks. Landing lights go on. There we go. Looking good to me. Now I would just go flat. In fact, should I just go for it? I'm thinking whether I should just go for it. I've done everything. Let's just go. Manual takeoff, by the way. Stop the clock.
80 knots.
80 knots. Checked.
V1.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Positive rate. Gear up. 12.5 degrees. Passing 400. Right, let's bring us up to 15 degrees now.
1,000.
Confirmed. Fantastic. Alright, I tell you what, at this point in time, we're going into the clouds. Look at that though, ORBX scenery, right there. Absolutely stunning all the way. Right, let's set up speed for 220. Reduce rate of climb to 10 degrees. Flaps 1. Landing gear there. Those can go off. Into the clouds we go. Bringing the throttles back slowly. As we hold about 10. Flaps go all the way. Auto brake off. And we shall begin our turn. Speed to 240. Oops. Ooh, I've busted the speed. I've busted the speed. I like flying this manually. It's so much more fun flying manually than, you know, any other way. Right, let's go cleared up. And we're just going to go fly straight all the way out to... Oops. We're going to fly all the way out to 15,000. Just going to climb the whole way through. Right. In fact, we're going to drop our rate of climb though, quite nicely. And those can go to auto. Breaking through the clouds quite nicely. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select vertical speed for 2000, command on, LNAV on, and we are good. Perfect. Right, let's have a look at the legs. We seem to be doing quite nicely. And now we can have a look for ourselves. Let's have a look from the window. Look at that view as we're coming through the clouds. Isn't 240 slow? It is a bit slow, but below 10,000 feet you do not do... You do not go bust 250 knots above that. But that's a nice one. No, 250. You do not go above 250 below 10,000 feet. That looks incredible. You've got to admit that looks really, really nice as we're going through the clouds. I could just raise it up a little bit like that.
Jump the test seatbelt sign is still on. Please remain seated. When the captain does turn off the sign, feel free to stand up and stretch your legs at that time. However, we do ask while you're in your seat, please keep your seatbelt
Co-pilot, could you shut up?
In case we do encounter any unexpected clear or turbulence. And for everyone's safety, please make certain.
Look at that. Any add-ons on the clouds? Yeah, I've actually tried one of these soft clouds textures that I found yesterday. I don't know the link off the top of my head because I found it yesterday on the X-Plane forums, and yeah, that's what I used. Oh, this is going to be nice. This is going to be nice. Watch this turn. Please take the turn. Please tell me you're going to do the turn. Why you no do turn? We are at the turn, right?
Thousand to go.
There goes the turn. Look at that. I have to say they've really worked well they've really worked well. This Zibo creates a fantastic mod, and yeah, coupled with ActiveSky, by the way, everything is great. You do get flickering. That flickering is a problem that you can't get past, unfortunately. It's very cloudy. I thought it would be clearer skies right now, but apparently not. I was hoping for clearer skies. I guess we're not getting clearer skies as we go over London. I was gonna hope for it. It is a laminar issue at this moment in time. Yeah. Right. As we go through the entire bank, it really should have tried to follow that route as opposed to whatever it's doing now. But it's trying. It's trying very well, or as best as it can. So now we just have to enjoy for a while. We can have a look at the maps, try and figure out... In fact, I do have to figure out how I'm going to get into... I do need to figure out how we're going to do an arrival. So the runway I want to land on is probably going to be... I'm thinking we'll take ILS Z because we're a cat. Yeah, see, we've got no stars. That's the problem. If we have a look over on this side and go to the routing, and we'll go... We're not using reserve fuel. How are we using reserve fuel? If we go to the legs and you take a look at this, see, we've got that, and then somehow I've got to make ourselves... We've got to try and get ourselves going in there. That's what we've got to try and do. And if I just do a bit of a zoom in on that. So if we can go there and then bring ourselves in right up to that point, and I think that's where we're going to have to vector. So if we can vector ourselves there at 3,000 feet, yeah, if we can do that, then we should be okay. So Pole Hill to 40, see, that's a problem, and then there to there is going to be a problem. Now, alright, we've got some time to think about this as we go over London. In fact, you see, you can't really see much from here, unfortunately. If I go outside, let's do a bit of a view outside. See, there you go. That's the M25 down there, I believe. And we are going to be going straight over London. Do a loop. I don't think this aircraft is capable of loops, just going to point that out. I really don't think this aircraft is capable of loops. But there we go, getting ourselves back on course. Can't do a barrel roll. False alarm. Andre, I'm not that bad a pilot. I have flown these in professional simulators before, and I've done it fairly well, if I say so myself. Let's have a look at the map then to give you an idea as to where we are. There you go, you can see we're going to be coming straight over the M25, going towards Biggin Hill, and you can actually just about, we can see that it's sort of clearing. We've got broken clouds, but it is clearing as we go through. Now I still have this concern here about this and how we're going to bring this aircraft down. So what I'm thinking is, it's going to be an interesting one. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. It's Biggin Hill. Oh, it's actually clearing up. We might be able to see something from here. It is actually clearing up. I feel like maybe it was a bad idea to have the engine nacelle in the way. Should find a different seat. Come on, aircraft, line up. Don't have to turn that much. Why are you turning that much? Oh, right, okay, never mind. Straight nosedive into the ground. Yeah, let's not. Let's not flame arrow. Though I am glad you're enjoying yourself here today. Do I have VR? I do not. I do not have VR. I was going to use head tracking today, but unfortunately, I think my lighting setup is just not quite there yet. But I do not have VR, sadly. Right. Oh, look at that! There's London. There you go. There's London below. I used to live in Bromley at some point, but look. And that's what I was talking about. That's what I wanted you lot to be able to see. Look at that. Oh, please tell me that I'm going to have the view from here. There it is. Challenge for Pro Pete, fly only with computers. Let's not do that either. That being said, you have just reminded me whether to check my anti-ice. Yeah, good call. Good call. That should probably all be on right now. Going over Lewisham, and then we're going to go straight over Greenwich in the heart of London. Should we go for a nose shot if we can? Try and get the camera just in here. It's a shame about the clouds, but you know, what can you do? But you can just about start making out, look, if you look there, there's Wembley Stadium right there. You just start making a few things out. London Heathrow's just in that direction. If we have a look from outside, there you go, you can start seeing a few things. Now unfortunately there's still a few artifacts with these clouds, but still, it's getting there. And there's London right below us. Looking absolutely beautiful. That's the Olympic Park. Wanstead Park, I think. That's the old, that's the Eurostar rail terminal. So yeah, there you go. We are getting to see some of London as we fly up at 15,000 feet. Weather radar doesn't show anything up ahead of us, which is great. Should probably have that on. Or we should have airports on and stations. There's Lambourne. 15 minutes into this flight. You can see where we're going, over the Lee Valley. And again, looking out there, in fact, that's got to be a view from... Look at that. That is a view to really enjoy. That is definitely a view to really, really enjoy. I absolutely love what we've got here. Really, really is amazing. And the other thing is, this is the first time I'm using these clouds, so I'm actually very impressed with them. I've not actually used them at all. So, you know, the fact that they're actually really impressive is very helpful. Now, I don't think I've got anything else I need to be doing now all the way into my descent, but That being said, I do need to work out, because now we're going straight to Pole Hill, I need to work out how we're going to do this descent as we cross Brooklands Park. There's the East Coast main line. Oh, sorry, that's the East Coast main line. What's that branch of it? That's the Midland main line. You can see that we're completely out of London. So we're completely out of London, and we are heading up there. That's where we're headed. So we took off from there. We're now there. We're headed up there. So I'm thinking when we get above Coventry or something, that's probably where we need to be starting to think about how we're going to bring ourselves in for a landing. But look at that. I have to admit, it looks beautiful. It's so smooth as well. The frame rate is incredibly smooth all the way through. Now, in fact, what I am going to do is, let's switch that on again. Let's just try and get this route sorted out for us. Could I vector myself in? Let me think. If I try and do this, is this going to work? Then what angle do I want here? Because it is still a fairly nice range. It's 20 miles, but I can't get down to that. Yeah, I can't get down to that kind of altitude from 20 miles. Let's have a look at what it says on Avitab for the charts. Not that chart. That one. See that chart? It's runway 32. Here we go. How are we supposed to do this? Alright. This is interesting. So we're supposed to come in there, loop it around, and then come down. What? That's an interesting one. So we're supposed to come in at 4,000, 3,000, loop it back, final approach point there, and then come down. Huh. What have I done? What have I set up here? Right, okay. How about that? Yeah, but what I'm going to do is... Oh, how am I going to do this? Don't want to execute that just yet. Because that's the only way we're going now, Pole Hill. Okay, that's fine. We'll do that then. We want that to be LBA. We want to be a lot slower there. I want 210 at 4,000. Right there. Give me that, see what we can do. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully you'll enjoy the rest of the stream when you catch up to it. Also, I want to get myself... How do I do an ATIS? ACARS, ATIS request, airport. Why do I do that? I've got this. I've got to get used to using these. Echo Golf. What is it? November Mike? Yep. Get me a ATIS for that. Okay. 4,000, that's fine there. This, we're going to actually have to do this manually. So we're going to do a 333. What? How are we supposed to do this? 333, loop in. For what, 9 miles? 9 miles from 10 miles from there. So at the 9 mile marker we're going to loop in and turn ourselves back. At what speed? 187 I think. So from there to there we've got to slow down to 187 I think. And then we'll slow down further. Yeah, alright, this is going to be interesting. Transition altitude's 5,000 there as well. Right. How far away are we from Pole Hill? 111 nautical miles. Alright, when we're 50 nautical miles away, we're going to bring that down. So we'll go 240 there, that's going to be 210, then we can slow down to 187, bring it in, and then that can't be 210 then, but then at that point we're just going to be manual all the way down, and then we'll bring it in for landing. Okay, this is the plan. This is the plan, let's see if the plan works. The plan will usually fail, but yeah. Not a problem, we should be able to do everything. Check my time switch from standard later on. Yes, I know. Once I pretend to clear myself down to a flight level, then I will change down from standard. As soon as I say I'm going to be cleared 4,000 feet, I'll change from standard. Which I think I will do. I think on approaching Pole Hill I'll do that, and then we'll just see what happens. I've never flown into this airport before. So it's going to be very, very interesting, particularly as we're going to be flying in through the clouds as well. And that just makes it a little bit more challenging. And as I said, this was the weather this morning, so it's exactly as it's supposed to be. Now, what I also want to do is 1010, so I will have that set for 1010, 1010. What's our radio altimeters on this? Interesting. Radio decision height is 46 feet. Okay. Position altitude. Aerodrome is at 681, so we'll also bring this up to 700. Oh, that's a bit all over the place. 700 there. You suck at bad weather. It's not often that I fly in all this weather, so this is just real world weather, so it's going to be an interesting one. Right. We've still got plenty of time. I know I'm doing this really early, but we've got plenty of time. I'll also make sure that this is set, well, we'll set that down to, I think, 10,000 feet for Pole Hill gives us 18 nautical miles to get down to 4,000 feet. That's not good enough. I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to go Pole Hill at 8,000. Pole Hill at 8,000 should be pretty good for me. And we'll also do the slowdown ourselves, since we're not on we're not using VNAV at the moment, and we're not using that, so we'll do that. Right. You go from Los Angeles to San Francisco, it's almost always nice weather. Right, okay, fair enough. What's this? Pilots are warned that the ILS glide path may not give full-scale fly-up outside of 4 degrees. Great. Possible GPWS operation and nuisance activation from 2 nautical miles from touchdown. I guess we're going to need terrain radar on as well, but not right now. We'll leave weather on there. We'll put terrain on there. Put that into map. That's got terrain. Fine. Good, good, good. AC may warn of possible localizer fluctuations due to preceding aircraft turning on the runway. There you go. Max 185 knots for the base turn. That's what we're looking for. 185 for the base. Alright. This is going to be very interesting. I've not brought an aircraft in like this. Cat 1, yeah, should still be possible. Cat 1 should still be possible in this kind of weather. Visibility is, well, let's read the meta. No, not for you. No, I want. There we go. I want. Yeah, send it for that one. Who have we got? No, I want for you. Let me see what we can do here. Alright. 140 at 5. Lovely. So we're landing on the right runway. 090V180. Okay. Yep. Yeah, visibility's fine. We should be good on that. Scattered clouds at 2000. Scattered at 2800. Temperature 6. Dew point 3. QNH 1009. It's changed. The weather's changed slightly. Go. Okay. I'm just worried about this base turn. That is something I'm really worried about, that base turn. Not at VATSIM. No, I'm not on VATSIM. I am not. Not currently, anyway. Let's have a look at what we can see out the back window. Nothing. It's a standard flight. It's an actual flight. You just don't see anything. The only difference is we're not at 28,000, 38,000 feet. We're just here at how much? 15,000 feet. I don't know why it's so off track though. I'm not sure why it's gone so off track. Also, why are you the master? There you go. Better. Oh, when I switched over, that just went to master. Well done, me. The caution button was bows on grey colour. You mean that one? Yeah, that one is. That's a slight bug, but it does still work. As far as I know, it still works. It's just a texture bug. You can see a few of the screws are currently texture bugged as well. Right. Okay. We're going to be landing flaps 30 today, so that's the one I want. So we'll pop that in. 110.9 is what we're looking for on this. So in fact, it is 110.9 as well. This is a 3.34 version 3.34. Right. 139 is our final course, so we're not going to actually put that in there. We are going to put 139 in on this. There we go. That will do quite nicely. Anything else I need to do? Yeah, we're going to try and get that NDB up, aren't we? Which NDB is it? That one there, 402.5. Right, let's get that one going. 402. How do I do the 0.5 on this? Ooh, that's going to be a problem. How do I do 0.5s on this? Ah. Interesting. I've never... Right, okay, new problem. That's a whole new problem, that is. You don't pick up that... Do you pick up that ADF? No. Interesting. Okay. What I'm also going to do is I'm just going to... Well, I suppose we're that far from Pole Hill anyway, so it doesn't really matter. 66 miles from Pole Hill. Potentially, yeah. I tried to do one of the bug fixes. Maybe it's that's caused it. Maybe it is one of the bug patches that have caused it, but I'll try and figure it out. Still, could be worse. I mean, it could be that we've got to figure this one out. Oh boy. What town are we going over now? Golf November X-Ray. That's got to be Derby. Yep, that's Derby over there, it looks like. Oh, very quick jump on the clouds. That's ActiveSky clearly changing things out. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on the ATIS. I am going to have to keep an eye on the ATIS. Make sure that the Meta is giving me a good setup. Right, we're set up there. That's absolutely fine. Go back to legs. We're 60 nautical miles away from Pole Hill. What I'm going to do is, I think we should probably start getting ourselves set up for the whole descent, and we're going to do a descent to 8,000 feet. You can see the terrain coming up now. You can see the terrain coming up right there. Switch to legs, already ahead of you. Unfortunately, there is a few second delay. I've tried to minimize the delay as much as I can, but there is a delay of a few seconds, so you will have to bear with me. Nothing on the weather. That's good. It's always a good sign. Now, all I've got to do is time this descent correctly. So at this speed, if we descend at that rate, how many minutes is it going to take for us to do the 240? It's going to take... Alright, look, about 5 minutes. 1,000 foot per minute, 2,000 foot per minute. I think we should start our descent now. So here we go. Very gently, 1,000 foot per minute rate of descent. Alright, here we go. Oh, we just got to watch that speed, but we should be okay. We might need to speed brake all the way down, but that's kind of normal as well. Show us how you descend. Sure, let's do the descent on the computer display. Why not? There you go. Is that what you wanted? Right, I do need to bring out the speed brakes. In fact, I tell you what, I'll show that on this one. I'll show that. The thing is, I don't use that as much, and even when I was doing it on training, I didn't use that one quite as much as the others. But we are going into a very nice descent. There we go. Nice and easy, bringing it down. 44 nautical miles to go to Pole Hill, and then things get a little bit interesting. So again, I've really got to try and figure this one out. 330. So where do we need to approach from? There. I'm not really sure how to go about doing this. See, that's where this descent part's not going to help me. I'm going to have to switch it off. I am going to have to switch it off to bring this aircraft in on this. Now, more often than not, I don't think they'd be brought in like this as we're going into the clouds. Look at that. So, look from here. Descending into the clouds. How cool does that look? Now, it's a shame the clouds don't sort of go over the wing at the moment. But that does look really, really cool. Yep, shh. Ignore that. Weather change. Right, back up forward because I need to be focusing right now. So we've got plenty of miles to go, and we're already coming down very nicely to our altitude. So at 11,000, coming through 11,000 soon. Still going to maintain standard. The glitch in the matrix is annoying. Yeah, it is. You can see we're coming to profile right there, but we're going to ignore that profile right now. Now, interestingly enough, there is a way to do it in a real aircraft, but it doesn't work on here, where you can actually put in a fix. So you bring that down and you put in a sort of a, let's see, yeah, I can't actually fit it in, but you'd be able to bring it down and add a new point in the middle, and that would allow us to extend the leg. But unfortunately I can't do that in this particular mod. Right, so we're going to do that. This is where it's going to get really interesting, how we're supposed to do this. Oh, look at that, we're actually coming out of the clouds. I didn't even notice. You can see how busy I am that I've not even noticed that we're coming out of the clouds in the Peak District. How awesome does that look? In and out of the clouds. Right, 29 nautical miles to go. There's the Peak District right there as we come through the clouds. Should we have a look quickly from outside? That's our view as we're descending. That is awesome. Right. Below 10,000 feet, landing lights are still on because we didn't bother with them. Because we were in clouds, so I don't want to worry about that. That's all done. Alright, let's go through some descent checklists as we come out below the clouds. Auto brakes, I'm going to set to 2. And we're going to start slowing ourselves down. I'm going to slow ourselves down now to 230, 25 nautical miles. We've got plenty of time to slow ourselves down, but speed brake can come out a little bit more.
1,000 to go.
1,000 to go. Fine. In fact, we'll go 220 now. I really want to slow this aircraft down properly. And next up, right, 23 nautical miles. I don't want to go all the way down to 4,000 feet here, although this looks stunningly good. There's another screenshot right there. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's all up to me, no distractions. Well, let's see what I can do here. Right, altitude hold. We are good for the next 20 miles. This should allow us to slow down quite nicely. There we go. Speed brake can be stowed right now. Let's just bring ourselves down very nicely there. I will not yet, but when we come down to 4,000, I'm gonna go. We've been cleared down to feet. These can go back onto continuous, like so. And let's see, is this going to be enough to drop us the 4,000 feet? Right, 210. Begin descent to 4,000 feet. Vertical speed, and we're going down 1,000 foot per minute. Speed brakes out. In fact, make it 1,000. Yeah, no, make it 1,000 foot per minute. In fact, no, let's keep it nice and gentle. Let's do 750 feet per minute rate of descent. Yeah, that's pretty good. 210. That's absolutely fine. We're good there. Those are continuous. Those are good. We're at +3. We'll leave them on for now. We don't have to worry about those. That can go to both. Everything is good here. That's fine. We haven't picked up the VORs, interestingly enough, for the airport. That's probably because it's a localizer. That's why. Yeah, so that's why we haven't picked it up as a VOR. It's going to be very interesting to fly this. It's going to be very, very interesting. So, let's see. Bring that down. I am going to switch this off because that's not going to help me. Traffic I can... I'll leave that on. It doesn't really matter. That goes to that. We are good there. And now comes the interesting part. Is it going to pick up that NDB? It's picked up the NDB. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Right, okay, so if we've got the NDB, that's a good sign. Let's do this. Right. At this point, I am actually going to go... we're going to turn 050, heading select. There we go. We're now bringing this aircraft in. NDB is a non-directional beacon. That's the one that I've got on in the blue right there with the ADF. That's the automatic direction finder. Right, let's do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fly this in fairly manually. We've got some terrain coming up, of course. You can see the terrain ahead of us, but we don't have anything on the weather, which is absolutely fine. It's really good. Now, I need to be careful of that area there, and that should be fine from that. Now, we'll bring this down as well. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this one? This one's going to be very interesting. Right. There's the airport. Airport's right ahead of me. Somewhere. There it is. There's the airport. Alright, there's the airport right there. Hello there, hopefully you are well. You're just catching me in time for what's probably going to be a really bodged landing at this airport, but I am going to try. I am definitely going to try. How do I pull up 110.9? Has that been pulled up? 110.9, 110.9, both are inactive. Alright, well, this is going to be interesting.
1,000 to go.
Yep, thank you. This is going to be very interesting. I might fly this manually, actually. I might just fly this manually, the whole thing. Yeah, I'm thinking that might be a good idea. Almost done. Yeah, I am almost done. Although we'll be going back and having a look at some replays and things like that once I've sort of finished my descent. Okay. Airport's right there. So what I'm going to do is I'll be turning into 333 very soon. We'll go around and see if we can actually mark this up properly. So we'll have that on a 10-mile ring. So that tells us, that should give us an indication as to where we've gone. We don't have ATC in this, unfortunately. Otherwise I would have contacted ATC. Should have been quite nice. But we don't have that. Still slowing down very nicely. Going to continue our slowdown to 200. We'll bring out the flaps in a moment. And we should now turn onto a heading of 330. Oh, sorry, 333. I really hope this works. I really hope this works. It's not going to be the best one. I'm definitely not going to do this the correct way all the way through, but I just really hope this works. Okay. Oh boy. Still haven't picked up.
1,000 to go.
I'm surprised I still haven't picked that up. Wait, nope, we've got something. Of course it's not going to come up on there, it's only going to come up on this. Well done. I was looking for the DME though, that's what I was hoping we'd have, but it isn't showing me that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring that up there. Execute. That should give me some information. You learn how you learn all the controls are a pilot. There's so many switches. You just get used to it. You get used to it, and you have plenty of practice, and yeah, things like that. I have flown in simulators, full-blown flight sims, 473 as well. I actually quite like doing that, and I do a little bit of work with them, so I know how some of these things work. Right, what's the idea on this? I'm not sure exactly what the idea is going to be here. I'm thinking we go out there and swing it in. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Right. NDB, we'll switch that to via, well, we don't even need that on. We don't need either of those on anymore. Bring that down to 5 miles so I can actually see things. Thank you. Check the ATS, make sure everything is still fine. Yep, we're still good there. 7 knot crosswind for the landing. That's going to be a little bit interesting, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem here. Right. That's that fix there. So we're okay. Right. Bring ourselves down to 185. Go for flaps 5. Everything else is good. We're now just down to flying the aircraft. Alright. Bring the speed brakes in. Make sure they're definitely in. Make sure they're actually armed. That's what we're looking for now. Okay. Bring ourselves all the way around for 139. And we should get, let's go for the localizer, see if we can grab it. I'm hoping we can grab the localizer, otherwise that's going to be a problem. I really need to grab the localizer, or it is going to be a massive problem. I wonder what we can see from the back. Oh, that's looking lovely as you come into land. Beautiful. Come on, keep it coming around. Localizer done. Approach. Oh, it's worked. It actually worked first time. Alright, let's slow ourselves down now. We're good. We're bringing ourselves right the way down to 129, but we're gonna first of all come down to 170. Right, 11 miles from the airport. This is it's actually worked properly. Yeah, all the add-ons are, it's difficult to get the add-ons working exactly as they're supposed to. No, we come out of the clouds immediately. 10 miles from the airport. Come on, aircraft, do what you need to do. Do what you need to do, aircraft. Grab the glide, capture the glide as well. So, I'm not sure, the real aircraft might have done this better than this is. This is not doing it quite as well as the real aircraft. I have not checked out the U-Boat Simulator game, no. Actually, it's doing a good job. It is actually doing a really good job. And there's the airport ahead of us. You can see the airport right off our nose. This is fantastic. 7.4, we'll go flaps 10. Missed approach altitude is going to be 3,000, does it say? So what missed approach is? Hold on. 2,000, then climb. Yep, 3,000. 3,000 is what we want for missed approach. Glide up live. Here we go. Oh no, you don't. Don't get away from us. Do not get away from us. Going down to 140. Gear down. Right, and you know what? I'll tell you what. Flaps 30. flaps 30, let's go for it. And I shall take manual control. Yep, let's fly this aircraft ourselves. Once it stabilises. Why is this not happening? Whoa, nose. Watch the nose. There we go. Fly the aircraft. I have control. Unfortunately. Yeah, airspeed low, watch it. This is a very, very slow landing. I've never landed an aircraft at this speed.
1,000.
Ever.
Speed stabilized, Mr. Bridge, altitude set. 500.
Watch that localizer. Unfortunately,
400.
my controls are not as... Yeah, they're not as smooth as I want them at the moment, which does cause issues, but nothing too major. That's it, come on, keep it on the centre line. Good.
300.
Watch that crosswind.
200. 100.
Yep.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Perfect.
80 knots.
80 knots. Manual braking. Auto brake disarmed. And we'll take this junction off. Welcome to Leeds Bradford. Perfect. Now we'll just get ourselves over to the taxiway and we'll stop. Flaps can come up now. Like so. In fact, we don't really need to get ourselves over to the terminal from here. But I think we are pretty good, right? What do we need to do now? Probably get the APU started, like you said. That can go off. Those can go off. Come down alpha here. Is the APU even coming on? Yeah, it is. There we go. You come on. Yeah, I know about you. I know about the warnings. The warnings are about to start up anyway. Auto brakes are already off. Speed brakes need to go fully down now. I think we're pretty good. You can go off. Tell you what, we'll just park in here. I don't know what this parking spot is, but we're parking in here. Away from the terminal. Right. Should be able to fit a 737 here. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And stop, I think. Oh, actually, we're way too forward. We're way far forward. Keep it coming. I don't know where the nose of this is, so I do have to work that out occasionally. And this is where we stop. There we go. Welcome to Leeds Bradford. Perfect. That actually went really quite well. So, what we should really do now is we should save the flight as a replay, like so, and go get the replay and go see what it was like to actually land from a different perspective. So we go to toggle replay mode. Let's have a look. We can watch the entire... Here we go. This is what it was like. Coming into land with me in control. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed the stream so far today. We'll have a look at a few more landing points, maybe even look at the takeoff. Unfortunately, there's a bit of lag right now. I don't know if anyone can see that. It's interesting that we have some of that. But coming in over this hill is quite cool. Really is quite cool. For those of you who are still watching, what's been your favourite part of the stream? Also, thank you very much for complimenting the soft landing medium. Let's see how soft it actually was. That's the first time I've landed a 7.3 in a while, so let's see just how soft it was. Okay, I'll kind of give it to myself. That wasn't bad at all. That was not bad at all. I will give myself something there, some credit. Let's go to the front. We could potentially, if I bring this up, we could potentially look at if it tells us this. It might give us our You're going to see a landing rate there. Now, unfortunately, it's not going to give us everything properly, but it should give us the descent feet per minute here, which is exactly what I was going for. If you have a look at this, I was trying to go for 1,000 feet that rate. We're looking at about that 128, so I was looking to do about 800 foot per minute, and you can see there I've got about 800, 850 feet per minute. So that's exactly what I was after the whole while.
400.
But it did go away from me slightly. But I did try and stabilise. But as you can see, the computer, unfortunately, the replay system on X-Plane isn't the best, but it's good enough for now. But yeah, the whole 750, 800 foot per minute rate of descent is what I was going for, so I think I did that well.
200.
And then I think maybe
100.
flared slightly early, but
50,
we're okay all the way
40,
down.
30. 10. 10.
Yeah, it was about 30 foot per minute rate of descent. As in my landing. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Tell you what we should do. Yeah, see through the entire aircraft. We should go for a landing view from the tower. That's always a good one to look at. Here, look, we're in the tower. Okay, get in the tower. Roughly. So we're about here. Do that. So yeah, we can say we're looking at the aircraft landing from... Ooh, this is not the greatest. Oh, this is definitely not the greatest. But we'll say from about here. And we can watch the aircraft come into land. So... There we are. We're right there. Here we come. There's us. I mean, from this angle, it doesn't look like we're anywhere near landing properly. But if we sort of... Yeah, now we're coming in quite nicely. Let's say we can sort of fast forward a little. Ah, yeah, that's the part I wanted to get right there. Landing gears coming down as well. There you go. Right, like this. And there come the landing gears. How awesome does that look? That looks stunning. And again, it's just a shame that we're not on the Vulcan engine yet, because I think that would look incredible on the Vulcan engine. As we come in. You see, we've still got ways to go, but we're coming in quite nicely. What I'll do is I'll fast forward a little bit until we're a lot closer. And we'll see that final part of the landing. There we go. So it's been a really good flight. It has been a really, really good flight. See, from the control tower, that's where we're going to be looking across. Where's the aircraft? There it is. Weather's been good. A little bit cloudy. A little bit of wind. But everything's ran really smoothly. Even that final turn that we actually got and done. I was very, very impressed that I actually managed to do that. Is this in full speed or half speed? That's full speed. That's actually full speed. That's how slow I was coming in. 128 knots. Incredibly, incredibly slow for an aircraft of this caliber and this sort. But you can see. There you go. Okay, I have to colour myself slightly impressed with my own flying. What aircraft is that? Japan Airlines. Didn't know that. Control tower. Rubbish. Well, what we'll do is we'll pause that there. Let's find another spot to watch that landing from. Ooh. I want to see where we landed. If we do one from here, that looks like that could be a good one. Yeah, I am just now messing around for the end of it. Here we go. Look at this. I need to get a really nice camera add-on. Cool. I will say I am happy with what I just did. Any other angles we can have? Now I'm thinking camera angles for screenshots and thumbnails. Here, let's have a look. Really getting in close to one of these. Look at that. Maybe from this side, actually. Ooh, that was a bad landing. I bounced it very slightly. I mean, it was smooth, but clearly I didn't hit the brakes well enough on that, or didn't bring that aircraft down. The nose was slightly too high as I hit the thing. Right, what an interesting airport, though. I've never landed at this airport before in my life. Okay, well, I'm actually pretty happy about how I did that. I tell you what we'll do is let's pause the replay and let's go right the way back to takeoff, and let's see if we can have a nice passenger view of the entire takeoff, which would be about here. Hopefully this doesn't crash the sim, and that's how we'll end the stream, by doing that. We'll just have to watch. Come on. It will do it eventually. I know it will. It's just getting it to go back that far. It's difficult to get it to go back that far. I suppose in the meantime, while it's doing that, should we have a look at... we probably can't do that now, can we? No. Now I'm probably going to have crashed it. That's fine. We did everything, and then we broke it here. Did we break it? No, we haven't broke it. Okay, here we go. Right. So, if we have a look at the map... Unfortunately, it doesn't show us our whole flight, but that's where we flew. We did that whole flight all the way along. So that was pretty cool. Obviously, it's loading it in right now in the sim. This is the Gatwick is trying to load in again from ORBX, but I am coming up pretty much then to the end of this flight, and that means the end of this stream. In fact, we've ended the flight already, so I might as well do all those outro things. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on X-Plane 11, definitely, and live streams if that's what you want, if that's the kind of stuff that you want to see. Make sure that you let me know that for live streams you want to see X-Plane 11. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think overall of this stream. If you're joining me now, maybe you want to go back and watch the entire stream. If not, I mean, you know, whatever makes you guys happy. It is 720p. I want to see what the quality is like in 720p as opposed to 1080p for streaming. If that's better, I'll be streaming at 720, recording at 1080, and yeah, we'll just see what happens from there. It looks like this is not... Okay, it is doing something. It's loaded us in there for some reason. I want to be on the ground. Put me on the ground at Gatwick. This is not the ground. This is 9,000 feet in the air. This is the ground at Gatwick. Or it's supposed to be the ground. Unfortunately, we don't have anything loaded at this particular point in time. I suppose that's what happens when you try and do live streams and trying to get replays on it. But clearly, we're supposed to be on the ground. Let's see if it loads in a minute. I'll see if it loads in a minute, and what we'll do then is we'll just have a look at what we were doing then. So once again, the flight plan, we had some briefings that we didn't have a look at. Didn't have a look at the briefings at all. Although that was pretty good. I mean, we had some pretty good weather conditions. And did it actually calculate what I had properly? Yeah, it calculated roughly what we had. And we landed runway 14. Perfect. It's not 140 though, it's 139. So there is that. Yeah, apparently this is not going to load. Well, that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate for us. Because it would have looked really nice to see the takeoff, but clearly we're not going to get to see the entire takeoff. Yeah, look, we're just in the air at the moment. It's just nothing. Okay, well, that's not a problem. I'm sure we'll get it at a later point. Thank you very much for watching. Also, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ECGadget and on social media at ECGadgetLP. Let's go back inside. There's some ground. Wait a minute. If you got ground there, where is the ground gone? Ah, it's trying to load in certain tiles. That's what it is. Okay. Well, you can find me on social media at ECGadgetLP for both Twitter and Instagram. That's all from me, and I'll see you guys next time in X-Plane 11 and hopefully on stream.